Hey, what's up, what's up? It's your girl, Angelique Bates.
And your boy, Troy Davinci.
And you're listening to the Evening Showdown. Today we have a great guest with us, recording artist Splash. Welcome to the show, man.
Hey, what's up, man? You dig yet?
Okay.
Oh, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, man, I appreciate you guys having me, man. It ain't nothing like, showing love to people that show love back, man.
Oh,
appreciate
sure. It's all good. Well, one of my friends actually tagged me under one of your posts, which caught my attention. It would be the All That post.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, man. Me and my boy TJ, we did a record called All That. It comes out October 31st, man, so watch out for that.
So where did you get that idea from?
To be honest with you, man, it was a friend of mine. You know what I mean? He was doing a record like that, and he just wasn't figuring it out like he wanted to. And then he was just like, hey, man, you want to do something on this? And I was just like, yeah, man, let me, I think I can put my touch on that. So I ended up getting the record from him, you know what I mean? And then me and my boy TJ, we ended up rewriting it a little bit, and then we ended up putting it out, you know what I'm saying? And it comes out October 31st, catch it on iTunes. Right? You know what I'm saying? I wanted to pick a day for it to come out. Actually, it also comes out with my other song called Around Me that I'm re-releasing again.
Okay. Is that the mixtape?
No. It's just a single that I had out already. Okay. And definitely got over 1 million views in 2 days when I released it the first time.
Okay.
So I ended up taking it back because a label, Sony, one of the extension labels off of Sony, was just like, hey man, I want you to take it down and then re-release it out again, with a bigger backing, basically a budget, know. So we're doing that. We're taking it back and then we're re-releasing it again October 31st with the All That record. So I have 2 records out.
Okay. So are you signed with Sony?
No, I'm not signed with Sony. I'm actually working. Well, I have a distribution deal with Sony, but I'm working with a sub label outside of Sony to put out these 2 records. So it's cool, man. I've been doing a lot of writing for a lot of labels, though. Independently, subcontracting with other artists and stuff, man. So just slowly but surely trying to make it in the industry,
You're definitely gonna make it. Like I said, when I heard the track, I get tagged in a lot of All That stuff, obviously, because I was on All That. Yeah. But when I listened to it, I was just like, oh, okay, wait a minute. Oh, they kept the actual original theme.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure when people heard it, they still would sing along with the original record, because if you change it, then it kind of takes a lot of stuff away from the record. But when I heard it, and I'm like, damn, dude, this is it. And then we rewrote it. I'm like, nah, man, we got to keep the original, what I mean, vibe to it. And then how my verses or whatever it is. But once it comes back in, everybody vibes with the record like it should be.
Right. Well, I heard that you're from Louisiana.
Well, I was born in Louisiana. Okay. Yeah, I was born in Louisiana, but I moved when I was 3 to Florida.
Ah.
So I was raised in Florida until I moved out here about 4 years ago.
Okay. Which one do you like better?
I would definitely have to say I like Florida better because it's more on the city side. Okay. The part that I was in, Panama City, stand up. I like the city part because back in the country, all it is horses and fields. Literally, the town that my mom and dad stays in is like one stoplight.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's like one stoplight. So it wasn't for me. I think I'm a city person. I'm not really a country person.
As far as like the music industry, I don't really know how it is out there in Florida. I mean, even though we filmed in Florida, I was in Orlando.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Right. Do you think it's easier to make it music-wise in Florida or out here in California?
I want to definitely say that moving to Los Angeles really hurt my career.
Really?
Yes, most definitely. Because I had a good buzz in Florida going, but the music that I was putting out at the time wasn't the vibe that was in the South. You know what I mean? Because at that time, I had just had a big record in Japan called That Diddy, and it was like more on the EDM side. Oh, wow. So people in the South wasn't vibing with it like that. So that's why I came out to Los Angeles, because it was more of a bigger market. It was more colleges and stuff out here. But me coming out here and then experiencing so many people trying to do it here, it really hurt me. You know what I mean? Because then they just looked at me as, oh, he's just another artist, you know what I mean, trying to make it in the music industry. And back home, I was more of a, dang, he's that artist that's making it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what kind of really, it kind of hurt me doing it.
So I'm looking at your chain over here, man. This guy over here is blinging. What's that? The Angel of Death or something?
No, man. This is actually, I copped this. This is a peso chain, man. Yeah, last year I ended up doing a tour in the Philippines, which I'm coming back to the Philippines, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the Philippines.
Yeah, November 24th, I'm have a show out there at Mega Dance. It's gonna actually be my birthday party because my birthday is the next day, and I got booked for a show on the 24th out there. But I went out there and I performed around me, and I didn't even know I had fans out there. They knew every word to the song, and that's what made me come back and be like, damn, this is a record. It was just an album filler at first. You know what I mean? So they knew every word. So I came back. I shot the music video with TJ. Shouts out to TJ. And I put it out. Got like 1 million streams on SoundCloud like over 2 days and stuff. I'm like, okay, this is the record. Then I had people reach out to me like, hey man, let's take it back and come back and let's really put some money behind it and this and this and that. So, you know.
So most of this is self-promotion.
Dude, like everything I've done so far has really been self-promotion, man. I never been signed to a major label. I mean,
do you want to be signed, or you don't care about that?
It has to be the right. It had to be the right situation. You know what I mean? I want to be able to have creative control over my music. You know, I don't want to be able to sound like everybody else. That's the reason why I think that I haven't made it as far as I want to make it, because I'm sticking to my own sound. You know what I mean? Even though it's 1 million artists blowing up out here these days, most of the artists sound alike, and that's the reason why they ended up getting that push that they do, because this person sounds like Lil Pump, so I kind of sound like Lil Pump. The music sounds the same, you know what I mean? It get pushed out. I like to keep the party alive and just stay myself, man. And I don't want to step on any toes trying to get into the music industry or try to stab anybody in their back or try to ride anybody's wave to make it, you know? I just want to make the music I want to make, and when it happens, it happens.
So if somebody came in here right now and said, how bad do you want it? I can fulfill your dreams right now, but it's a price you're gonna have to pay.
Again, man, you know what I mean? I have a son, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want it that bad, you know? I want it the right way. I want to be able to teach my son that, hey, look, you work hard, eventually it'll pay off, you know? Because the people that get it overnight, they don't respect it. You know what I mean? That's the reason why they're able to lose it so fast, because they didn't go through the trials and tribulations to make it into the industry. Dude, I've been in this industry for about 6-7 years professionally. You know what I mean? But before that, I did it. But so when I make it, I know what's wrong with deals. When we got offered a deal in Def Jam 2011, man, crappy deal. We didn't take it. We just kept moving. But I knew, looking at the contract, that it wasn't a good deal. You know?
So you studied law or something?
I know.
It was just.
I ended up going back to study the music industry, because I knew that I would need to know the knowledge of the music industry to make it in the music industry, and not hire somebody to know the knowledge for me, because that's how a lot of people end up getting screwed, and that's how I end up getting screwed in a lot of situations in the beginning of my career. So that's the reason why I wanted to go back and learn.
So did you end up learning pretty much the knocks of life?
Yeah, I mean, a lot.
After So Unique, the group that you ran?
Yeah, man. Actually, me and my boy, he's another reason. Shouts out Pretty Boy, B.O.I. With him, he's one of the people that actually helped me get the name that I got in Florida, because he was in the projects all the time. You know what I mean? Like, he was that street guy, the funny guy that was in the projects all the time. So when we came together and started making music, he already had that bigger fan base in the projects. So it just kind of drifted my music into the projects also. So now they're just like, who is this kid with Pretty Boy? You know what I mean? So I started also getting the fans that he was having too, and then he got some of the fans that I had, and we just kind of built something through our city. You know what I'm saying? And shouts out to Club La Vila, because they were the first people to actually let us get on a stage in front of 7,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
What do you think about all the beef going on in the music industry? Because you kind of said something about pretty much that you're trying to stay clear of all of that, but you have like the old school heads, you got the new school heads, like all these new school cats are just coming in, just effing up the whole game.
I feel like people should let people do them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the music industry has changed. It's not the same anymore. You know what I mean? Like, the generation that's growing up, they listen to different type of music now. You know what I mean? Like, so you can't be offended when a younger guy that was born in like 2005 don't listen to Pac. You know what I'm saying? Because they were raised up on somebody that was younger, you know?
Right.
So you can't really be offended by that. And so I feel like the old heads they have to let it go. It's just like, you had your time. let the new dudes eat, you know what I'm saying, and just respect them, you know what I'm saying, like, because you can always be like, I have a lot of people that don't mess with me, they're like, oh man, I don't really mess with his music, but I respect his hustle, you know what I'm saying. That's the same way that I feel about people. I may not rock with your music, but I respect that you're making a way to feed your family, or you're making a way to, you know, to not do negative things, you know what I'm saying, because they could easily be in the street robbing somebody, but they're out here in front of a mic. They may be talking this, whatever they're talking about, but they're doing something positive.
I noticed growing up and back in the day where the new school people paid homage to the KRS Ones or the Rakims, and they learned and they knew they had their spotlight now, but they knew, all right, shout outs to these cats, because without them there wouldn't be us. Do you feel that the new culture doesn't care, the new kids don't care about any of the past stuff, like whatever, like we're spoiled on that, we don't, y'all shit was whack, y'all had that era, all that, we on some other stuff, and they're not giving homage? I think that's what the problem that the older cats are having is, they're not saying that, you know, you gotta give us anything, but just a decent respect, like, I understood what y'all did, and now we got the ball and we're gonna take it to that next level. Do you think that's where the problem is because they're not giving homage?
To be honest with you, I think that it's the way that the older heads are approaching the younger generation. You know what I'm saying? Like, because some people are like, oh man, you need to do this or you need to do that. And if I'm young and I'm getting money and I'm ignorant, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna be like, bro, I don't need to do nothing. I'm out here getting this on my own. You know what I mean? So I think it's the way that people actually approach them. You know what I mean? Because it's one of those things, like everybody say, you got to show respect to get respect type of a vibe. Because I don't really see too many young artists just come out of the gate like FKRF1 or this or this or this or that. I think it's more like when like a Joe Budden or somebody like that come out and just be like, oh well, we need respect and this and this and this and that.
Joe Budden, respect to Joe Budden and everything. He's very opinionated, and he's a brother that actually been in the game and rapped.
Yeah.
Me, I've rapped, I've done music, but I haven't had that acclaim where I can have a strong opinion because I've seen both sides.
Most definitely.
And so Joe Budden is a little bitter on missing his time because this dude is a lyricist. A lot of people don't know.
Yeah, he is.
He just haven't had that backing and that good song to really show his case. But at the same time, Joe Budden speaks for Joe Budden and his side of how he looks at it, and he's like, yo, some of you guys are garbage and yada yada yada, and y'all not doing this. And I see how the music changed because it's a different age, it's a different time, and it has to evolve. But the young cats that study the past won't repeat it. And if they don't, they're going to fall victim to this stuff. This music business is a monster.
Big monster, man. Big monster. They get it overnight, so they don't respect it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a click thing for them.
Can you say some names of who gets it overnight? Who you think?
Me personally, I feel like a lot of the new kids, like the Kid Blue and the Lil Pumps and a lot of these, well, actually most of the Florida rappers that actually has been coming out recently, you know what I mean, like those are the guys that are like getting it overnight. So don't get me wrong, like they're good in the industry because of what's put in front of them and the generation they're feeding off of it, so it only makes them bigger and bigger and bigger, you know what I mean? But eventually it's going to come a time when the music industry change again, and they're not going to be able to sustain inside of it because they're not going to be able to elevate with the music industry and change what they're doing.
Because I'm more of an old head. Like a lot of my family is from Zulu Nation, so I get where a lot of the old heads are probably upset. And like you said, you have Joe Budden, who is a lyricist. Yeah. You know, and you have the LL Cool J's, you have Kango, you have all of these OGs that actually, when they were rapping about something. You know, they weren't promoting lean and what they're calling mumble rapping. Yeah. You know, you know, and I think it's just more to what's going on with this generation. Yeah, it's cool that, you know, they're out there making their money and they're doing whatever, but they're also being reckless with it, which I think is what's also creating a problem, because now you have all of these kids just pretty much thinking it's cool to talk about lean, pop pills, like it's the new thing. You got them getting all these tattoos all over their face and their body, whatever. It's just like, no.
But you know we're getting old, right?
And you know what? And that's some real shit, because when we were young,
Our parents are saying, what are they saying? And Bone Thugs and all this stuff.
You better leave Bone Thugs alone.
See, what it is every generation has a drug of choice.
Yes.
And I came into the marijuana era with the chronic and everything like that. And these drugs are getting stronger and more dangerous, and you can hear the drugs in the music. Everybody has a drug sound, and so they're being taken out. And so remember, I'm not going to get too deep, but when you're taking drugs, you're opening up another corridor inside of your subconscious.
Yeah.
So the drug is bringing out another person or a demon or a 12th house if you're in astrology, where it's kind of like, who is this person rapping? And now everybody who's under that vibration is listening like, yo, this is tight, but they don't know what's going on. It's the drug taking control of them.
Yeah.
It's like demonic in some levels.
So y'all gotta be real careful on what drugs you taking, because there's too many of us getting wiped out early because of drugs, because it's something else, a pain point that they're hiding. Or some people are needed because it makes them feel like they can contribute, or they're better under that drug, or they feel inspired to do better stuff.
Like peer pressure.
Right. So what is your drug of choice if you take any?
Me personally, I want to say life, because I don't take any drugs.
That's what's up.
I think, again, I'm firmly about like trying to have my son, respect me and see me in that manner. I think that's another reason why I don't do like gangster music or anything like that. The music that I do is mostly like just party, feel good music, because that's what makes me feel good. Know. But I also feel like a lot of the rappers and a lot of people, they also turn to drugs because of the situations that they're going through, with also getting this recognition that they have. You know what I mean? Because because depression is like super hard in the in the rap industry. Depression is a big thing, and a lot of people start turning to drugs because they're so depressed. Because once they get that success, it's not the fact that they change. A lot of people around them change also. So now when you have all these people that was supposed to be so close to you, but now everybody got their hand out, and then when you can't give them anything, now they turn their back on you. It makes you feel like you have no one there for you. You know what I'm saying? So now they're just like, shit, ain't nobody here for me. Let me roll up, or let me pop this pill. Let me get away from this stress, or let me get away from this pain.
Drown myself in the females and the booze and the pills.
So that's a lot of things. That's another thing that we also need to be aware of, and also how we treat people, especially with the social media bullying and all that other good stuff that goes along with being in the industry.
And I'm glad you spoke on that, because with depression, people don't realize that depression is real in the industry, whether it's the music or the acting.
Yes.
They think the minute that you get money, it disappears. No. When Biggie said, what did he say? Like you know what I'm saying? It's and Diddy, it's more money, more problems.
It really is.
It does not go away. Like you said, you got the fake friends. Then you have the enablers that whatever you want to do. Oh, you want to jump off that cliff?
Let's do that thing, man.
Yeah. Jump off the cliff. Let's do it.
Trust me.
And then when you are gone, everybody wants to cry and talk about, oh, I couldn't believe it. He was this, she was that. And we're losing a lot of talented people faster and faster and faster, but nobody wants to help because it's that stigma. It's just like, help you for what? Like, I'll use Eminem. Perfect example.
Yeah.
Eminem is a dope lyricist.
Most definitely.
I love Eminem. But he even said it, when he was on drugs, there was that difference. Then when he tried to come back, I can't remember which album it was.
The one before the last one he put out. It was really bad.
Yeah, he was very sober.
Yeah.
Very sober. He even said it, but when he came, I don't know what his state was when he did this last one, but I didn't know he got back with Dre.
Yeah.
So it was just like, I think a lot of record labels and a lot of artists know that.
Yes.
And they feel like, okay, well, in order to get that album, or they get that pressure, in order to get those streams, in order to get those downloads and everything, I have to be under the influence. And I know labels, because I've been in the studio with certain people that will bring in, like I had an artist that I was dealing with, and he did better drinking, but I knew it was killing him. But the producers would be like, hey, where's the drink at? Where's the drink at? I'm like, no, just let him go ahead and write and do whatever he's doing right now.
Yeah.
But by the time the night was over, he had fifths and everything, and pretty much would fall asleep in the middle of the session.
Yeah, see.
They don't care. They just want that song. They want that money. They don't care.
And see, and the reality of everything is there's no manual for fame.
It's not. It's not at all.
So if you got it overnight, or you took 30 years to get it, it's going to hit everybody differently.
Most definitely.
You can't prepare for that. It's a beast within itself. And more people want it, and they find out about it, it's not all cracked up what they think it is, you know, at the end of the day.
Industry is definitely not what it is, man. Especially like in the United States, man. Like, it is the most hardest market to break into. You know what I mean? United States is like the most hardest market to break into. Me personally, you know, I've took a step away from the United States market, and I only promote my stuff overseas.
Smart.
Yeah, you know, so I tour every 3 months overseas. Like, I'm going back on tour November 16th, you know, back in Asia. I'm going back to China, I'm going back to the Philippines, I'm going back to Korea. I'm going back over there because I put my music out there. They respect it just because it's good music, you know what I mean? Because here I feel like it's a crab in the bucket method, you know what I mean? Like, because you can do a show, if you're not Drake or somebody, people just stand there and look at you like you crazy sometimes, you know? So even if your music's good, but like in a foreign country, you know, they really just like good music, you know what I mean? If your music's good, they're gonna vibe and they're not gonna be so judgmental about it. And they also buy records. Yeah. You know?
They will still buy it, still spin it, still
exactly.
dance and everything.
They still buy records. So I've just took it a step back from the American market and started marketing my music over there, and then just let it drift back into the United States if that's what happens. I mean, you know.
So what are you using to promote into those countries?
Me personally, it's really just relationship stuff, man. Because I've been traveling and touring so much, dude. I travel more than I record. It's hard for me to get in the studio and actually record records because I travel so much overseas, you know what I mean? And it's just me building the relationships of me being out in these places. Okay, I may meet a PR person, or I may meet a radio person, and then I hit them up like, hey man, like, hey look, I got this record, blah, 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 blah. They say, hey look, this is what we can do for you, you know what I mean? And sometimes, you know, I gotta bring some money out and pay them or whatever it is, you know.
Money talk.
Yeah, exactly, you know. And that's basically like how I just been doing it right now, you know, just been marketing my stuff overseas.
So you don't have a manager or nothing? You just do this yourself?
I have people around me that step in as representation, you know. Well, not a team really, but I have people that step in as representation as I need it, because again, in this industry I can't really approach too many people as an artist. It makes me look bad, you know. So I have representation for people that, you know, handle some of those things for me, you know. So but the key thing for me is just like really finding the right team to put around me, you know, that understands my vision, because most people that get on board with me, they only come in to ride the wave, you know what I mean? They don't really come in offering anything, you know, like, because I'm a workhorse, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm always trying to figure out like, hey, how can I do this, how can I do that, how can I do social media this, or how can I get more shows over here? Matter of fact, I'm gonna give y'all a game right now. So this is how I'm able to tour overseas. For example, people are gonna kill me for this, but so for my first show overseas, I did Japan, right? I had a boy named Stan Jones. Shouts out to DJ Stan Jones. We did a show in Japan. I only had one show in Japan. We did that show in Japan. When I was in Japan, I'm like, okay, we're doing that one show. Let me contact the clubs around there and then just let them know that, hey, look, you know, I'm doing this show in Japan. You know what I mean? So you can get me for a cheaper price, right? I never had a show in Japan at all at first. Never had a show in Japan. They'll book me for that show. Now I actually have a show in Japan. So now I can backdoor that with the other clubs and be like, hey, look, I'm at this club officially now. You know what I mean? Now I can go and set up a tour around those different cities. And then once I have 4 shows in this city, I can be like, hey, look, Korea, I'm right next door to China. Be like, hey, look, I'm doing 4 shows in this city. Now I can pick up 3 shows in Korea. Now I have 3 shows in Korea. I can go to the Philippines and be like, hey, look, I got 3 shows here and 4 shows here. Now I'm able to get those 4 shows in the Philippines. And now I just set up like 8 shows and go and collect like 10 racks and come back because of my work ethic, you know what I mean? And like just being able to just organically put out music, and then them seeing and be like, okay, this guy has good music, let me give him a chance, you know what I mean? And then I get that one show, and then I just build a tour off of that show, that one show that I never had before.
Oh, that's a game.
You know what I mean?
You need to write you a book and change your name.
You know what I'm saying?
Different pen name, and just give it out there, and that, like, because after you're done with your stuff and you move on in your career, there's still people that got to start from the beginning.
Most definitely, man.
It is always going to be new customers for that knowledge. So just something to think about, man. You want to write something like that, how the game, secrets to the game, are independent stuff. Like
Most definitely, man. Like, for example, man, I have friends all the time ask me about different things. Me personally, man, I just sit back and be like, okay, well, how can I market this in a unique way? You know what I mean? When I first came out, my first mixtape, which I'm on volume 3 now, was Google Me. I had Google Me everything. Google my car, so I can be up on a search engine. As soon as you type my name, I need 4 pages of myself coming up. Even though I wasn't nobody, You know, when people heard Google me, you know what I mean? I did volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. It helped me get on a search engine. Once I was on a search engine, it gave more people time to come and see who I actually was and come and talk to me. And then they wanted to be a part of the team, you know what I mean? And then they wanted to work with me. And then I just keep developing from there, you know?
And so I'm glad that you mentioned international, because I always tell people, if you have the opportunity, go overseas, because that's where the money is. And growing up, DeBrat was on the show.
Yeah.
Well, not this show, all that. And so I don't want to be like, I wasn't on the show, but but she was on all that. And I remember her telling me, she was like, when you get older, if you ever have the opportunity to travel and do your music overseas, go to Sweden, travel, they love you over there. And she was so right. I always remember that. And every mixtape I was on for Slip Inside Records, So Def Jam, it was overseas. I got more love overseas than out here.
Exactly. I mean, it's really that serious over there. Like, again, like, if you guys have never been overseas, definitely go overseas. You'll be treated like royalty. I'm telling you, like, because you may not be a Drake or a Wayne or somebody over here, but over there, they don't care who you are, because they just see an international artist over there that does good music, and they don't care that you're on that level, you know what I mean? Because they're more interactive. I love taking pictures with them, you know what I mean? I love sitting there talking to them. I love just being around them. Actually, me being in the Philippines, I ended up opening businesses over there, only for the simple fact, dude, me and my DJ Stan Jones, shouts out, we were walking down the street, and like this kid just came out of nowhere and just grabbed my Gatorade and just started drinking it, you know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, that was just crazy. I'm like, man. And then so when I was over there and I was on a radio station over there, I was actually being able to go in the villages and see their culture. You know, they make like $7 a day there for an 8-hour shift.
Yeah. People
complain here about $10 an hour, you know what I'm saying? So what I did, I have a business over there, it's called Shaky Shaky, in the mall. I hire people, you know, they make more than $7 a day, they make $11 a day, you know what I mean? And I ended up buying a house over there that I Airbnb when I'm not there now, you know, and I ended up putting 30 kids to school this year.
That's what's
over
up.
There, because over there you don't have to pay to go to school, but people can't afford, you know, to get the supplies to actually go to school. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong, 30 kids going to school over there is not a lot of money, but, you know, it's still something that I'm actually fortunate to be able to do, you know. So, you know what I'm saying? So
I need to bring attention to this. Everybody that's listening, he's not just an artist. There's more to it than that. Yeah, you want to do the music, you can jump in, but you have to be able to give back to the community, give back to the world, and you have to be able to solidify your future, because the music industry is not solid. As quick as you're on, you can be quickly off.
Dude, I tell you this, like, I learned that very quickly in the music industry. So most of the money that I get, I start and turn around to invest the money that I get, because, again, the music industry is rocky. You never know how long you're going to be there. You know what I'm saying? The quicker you're there, the quicker you can be gone. So the money that I do get, I try to take the time, you know, and figure out the right way to invest it. So even when I'm done doing music or done writing for people and stuff like that right there, I'm able to fall back on some of the properties that I own now, you know, and some of the restaurants and stuff like that I'm trying to build, you know.
I love that your son is seeing all of this.
Yeah, how old is your son?
My son, actually, he's 12.
12?
Yeah, my son is 12, and his birthday was on Thursday. Aww. You know, shouts out Romeo.
Happy birthday.
Yes, you know, so, and that's the thing that I just want to do, you know what I mean? I want to make sure that I'm able to leave him something, you know, when I'm gone, you know, he's able to have something for himself, because in our community, we're not put in the position to be, you know, we're not put in a position to make it as some other people. We have to find our own way sometimes. And I feel like if you could put yourself in a position to better someone else and not have to have them go through the struggles you went through, you know, it's only going to make it easier on them. You know, it's crazy. I was on Facebook, and I was watching this one video from this coach. He's a Caucasian coach, and he made all these kids line up, you know, and he made the African American kids and stuff take steps back if they didn't have people at home with them, and this and this and that, and made all of them run, you know, for $100 or whatever. But the people that was behind the line, you know what I mean, they still caught some of the people that was there. It's just the fact that some of the people that was in the first line had an advantage in life. compared to the people that was behind them. Everybody may make it to the finish line at different times, but when you have an opportunity and you're putting things there for other people to make it an easier way, you know what I'm saying? It's easier for them to make it in life compared to the people that have to go through these trials and tribulations to get to the same place that you're going. You know?
I think that's great. Now, question, because your son has one up than a lot of other kids. He actually has a father that's setting a great example. What would you tell anyone that wants to get into the industry that does not have that role model or that father figure to follow after, to guide them through the process?
I would say get around people that trustworthy and honest, and they're not yes men around you, because you seem to get around a lot of people that are just like, okay, he making it, so yes, let's do this, yes, let's do that. No, I surround myself with people like, hey bro, you tripping right now. Like that's not a good move, you shouldn't be doing that, you know what I mean? Or hey man, like she wants something from you, you need to watch yourself, you know what I mean? Like not, oh, she got a big booty, bro, you gotta smash that, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. I say surround yourself with genuine people that's just there, that wants the best for you. You know what I mean? And I think, for me, I think what really changed my life in a lot of perspective is I used to be a personal assistant to Don Rickles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he gave me a lot of game, you know what I mean? He gave me a lot of game about money and about a whole bunch of stuff, you know? And he's actually on my Google Me 3 project. If you go listen to it, he's roasting me on my Google Me 3 project, you know? Rest in peace, Don Rickles. But I think he gave me a lot of game, you know, about just life and being around people and materialistic stuff, you know what I mean? Like living outside of your means to impress people that's really not gonna be there when you're at your downfall, you know? So, now, to get me wrong, I love materialistic things, but I don't get them to impress other people. Like, you know what I mean? I don't get a Rolex to be like, hey man, I got a Rollie on today. You know what I mean? Like you don't see me on my gram throwing $100 bills and stuff like that right there, because most people that got money, they don't really have to show that they got money.
But you gotta be nutritious. You know, having a Rollie shows some type of success. And you know, because a watch just tells you the time.
Yeah, of course.
Because now you have a Rollie. That's a whole different story. You're not gonna sit here and be like, oh, you know, I mean.
Well, what I'm saying is that, like, you know, I got a Rolex. Me personally, I got one because I was just like, dang dude, like I've always wanted one, but I didn't get one to be like, hey bro, nigga, I got a Rollie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I didn't do it like that. I felt like getting it for me was an accomplishment. Like, hey man, I made it to another stage in my life that I'm able to purchase something that I've always wanted. You know what I mean? And again, but being younger, it was one of those things like you said, like, dang bro, having that Rollie is like, nigga, you sitting on top, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, exactly. But for me, after being able to get it, I wasn't just like, hey man, like, I got this Rollie.
For me, I go back and forth with that, because I really tell myself, if nobody was on the planet other than me right now, would I care about wearing this, having a haircut, putting on this nice outfit? Because really, when you look at it, I'm really impressing people to a degree, but they say, I'm doing it for me. Oh, I buy this for me, but if no one's here, would you still be rocking that stuff? Will it still, because you'll be worrying about food and like shelter and also cleaning yourself, because you'll be smelling. You're like, you're not doing it for no one else because no one's here, but you can't stand yourself stinking, so you'll probably take a shower. But when you break it down and you just be like, who am I really doing this for? And that's when you really start to peel that onion, and you find out like a lot of this stuff, when I go to different countries, they say you guys hoard a lot of stuff in America.
Yeah, of course.
And it's like they pack in their nomads. They just go with their backpack. Everything they ever had is in their backpack. And we hold too much stuff, and we put labels to stuff, and we act like this stuff is really important, and it's really not. I know homies that they have tattoos of a Rolex on their body, and they don't own no stock. They don't know nobody who. It just boggles me. As a people, we spend so much money in other people's pockets, and we ain't putting none in our own. And that's the thing.
To piggyback off of that, I think that it's the way that we grew up, or how we grew up in America. You know what I mean? Learning to be materialistic. You know, and like I said, after working with Mr. Rickles, I started learning. Like me personally, I like to be clean. I'm a shoe guy. I need every shoe that come out. It don't care if I feel like if it's Skechers, I still need it if it look good on my body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm not like a label whore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need it just because it's a label. I need it because it's nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, for example, I know Balenciagas are like super expensive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if they were Skechers, nobody would wear them.
And they kind of have the feel.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
but I would still wear them because I own a couple of Skechers that I'm like, hey bro, these look good with these jeans right here that I got on. And I have a bunch of no-name Chinese shoes too that just look good with my fit just because I like fashion. You know what I mean? Right. Now spending thousands of dollars on shoes is reckless when you can't pay your rent. You know, just to impress people.
I'm going to SneakerCon this weekend. You know, I have a business that caters to the sneaker culture, and I see these kids come in there with thousands, 30, 40,000 in their pocket, and they're buying shoes. It's a whole different culture. I mean, and they got Supreme, like it should be called Supreme Con, because it's like SneakerCon. It's like the hype is crazy, and they think that, oh, because I can buy Supreme for a lower price and sell it for a high price, they really think they're in business. Yeah. I'm like, no, you guys are hustlers. This is not business.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother story I want to get into. But, you know.
I mean, I almost fell into that because my son was my firstborn. And growing up, sneakerheads and everything, the first shoe I just had to get was some Jordans. Yeah. And I felt stupid real quick after because his foot was already too big before he could even put it on. And I was just like, why did I spend all this money on these Jordans? Exactly. And I thought it was super stupid. Like, I had the whole fit and everything. I never even had a pair of Jordans. And I was like, okay, how am I about to raise him? Because growing up, my mom put me in Pro Wings. Yeah. Or whatever it was, Payless, whatever. She didn't care. Corduroys, we did all. Yeah, Goodwill. Thank you very much.
I rock the Goodwill.
Yeah, I'll rock it. Now, with my son, as he started getting older, and his sister, he was about to become a sneakerhead. Nothing against it, but my pockets was not going to allow it. Yeah. And we're at Skechers all the time. Like, he has one of his favorite pair of shoes is these shoes that light up.
Oh yeah, I know.
But they're at Skechers. You know, and I had to tell him, I was like, you know, you can wear this to school, you can wear that. It doesn't matter, because I did have him wearing lamb shoes and everything, but I was like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? So he can impress the kids, or is it something that he wants? He doesn't care, just as long as it lights up. They're Skechers shoes. It was a promotion, but you got people spending almost $200, $300, $400 going for broke. Okay, rent not even paid. They don't even, like I said, they don't even have life insurance. And we're actually handling this back down to our kids, and people don't even realize that.
Yes, they are. I mean, that's honestly.
So I get it. I mean, you're an artist, and so
you have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I used to see Michael Jackson with, you know, his mama jacket on, and then that became the style of that generation, where he didn't have nothing else to wear, and he put it on the, you know, Motown 23rd or some type of thing, and it was a big smash. And you know, they wear glitter, and you have to shine on stage. I get it. But a lot of times, you know, a lot of people look up to artists. You know, I don't look up to a man or an artist or an icon. I don't play that stuff with, you know, because man will always disappoint you.
I'm happy you said that, because a lot of my friends, they always just like, dude, you know everybody. You know this person, you know that person. Like, why aren't you like bigger? Or because I'm not looking to get on anybody's train. And then, like, when my friends be like, well, you were in the studio with so-and-so, why didn't you take a picture with them? Because I'm not a groupie. Like, you know what I mean? That person is just a person to me. You know what I mean? Like, granted, he's well successful, but, like, I don't need to take a picture with this person to solidify, like, who I am. You know what I mean? As an artist, because I'm Swagger Splash, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a Marion or nobody like that, and I don't want people to be like, hey, that's Swagger Splash, that guy be with a Marion all the time, or that's Swagger Splash, he be with Ray J all the time. Like, I don't want that image. I want people to be like, oh, that's Swagger Splash. I don't really see nobody else around him, but that's Swagger Splash, you know what I mean? Like, you know, that's what I want, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to look up to other people. I mean, I respect other people, but I don't want to just like be like, oh my gosh, man, I want to be that person. Nah, I respect what you do, but I want to be myself.
So who inspired you when you was in the game? I mean,
to be honest with you, a funny story is that, like, Diddy was like my idol, like, you know what I mean? But like he disrespected me, you know what I'm saying? He like disrespected me, like on some, I mean, I made a song about the man and everything, you know what I'm saying? Like 2013, my first time ever being able to meet him. I was at a club, you know.
What city?
It was Los Angeles, downtown Los Angeles. Okay. I forgot forgot what the club was or whatever. Man, it's downtown Los Angeles. But he was having a party. Felly Fell, you know, shouts out Felly Fell. He ended up getting me in, you know what I mean? And we ended up Diddy had came down and I asked him to take a picture, you know what I mean? Because like that was like one of those things like before, you know, I'm like, it's Diddy, you know what I'm saying? Like he's like my idol, you know what I mean? Everybody knows. And then like I know he was drunk, but he was just like he literally was just like, I don't take no pictures. But the thing was, it's not like he just didn't say it once. He kept echoing it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, he was like, I don't take no pictures. I don't take no pictures. I don't take no, but kept walking to his car as he said it. So I was just like, dude, that's fucked up for you to be my idol. You know what I mean?
Wait. For somebody to repeat themselves, you don't think he was kind of too drunk?
No, he was drunk. That's what I'm saying. Like, but the thing was, the next time I met him the second time at Jamie Foxx's house. Okay. He had a party. You know what I'm saying? He had a party, and I met him the second time there.
Yo, I hear some crazy stuff go out on Jamie.
I feel like I've seen you at Jamie's house.
Yeah. All right, go on the story, man. Go on the story. All right, let's go.
I was at Jamie Foxx's house, and I was there with a couple of people, man, and I ended up running into him again with French Montana.
Okay.
And he was just like,
I don't take no pictures.
No, I told him. I told him about it, and he was just like, man, I apologize. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know what I was on back then. And then he was just, and then he was just like, hey, man, he was just like, I appreciate the love. And he was real nice, you know what I'm saying, at that point in time. And then
I still don't take no pictures.
Yeah. I don't take that. But so did you say you made a track about that?
Yeah. Well, not that situation. About him, you know what I mean? Okay. That was the song that blew me up in Japan. It was called That Diddy. It was an EDM track. Oh. You know, it was called That Diddy. It's like, so rock, that Jaeger, that can get you silly. It was like that. Okay. And I was just trying to get it to him, and I eventually kind of just gave it to him. I gave it to him in a USB. I never heard anything from him after that, but it was the fact that he did apologize, you know what I'm saying? And then he actually accepted the USB, and, you know, after that, it was all gravy.
Make sure you don't go on Bad Boy, man.
Nah.
Cats don't come out alive or in their right mind, B.
No, man.
Big shout out to P. Diddy and all the stuff he's doing with the city. You know? I don't want to be on that side.
I don't feel bad about Chris Rock telling me he don't take no pictures anymore.
Yeah. But that's how it be with them sometimes. But then also, you know, growing up after that situation, you know, I really understood, like, they probably get people ask them to take 100 pictures, million pictures all the time, and maybe that day they just wasn't feeling it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, because you have paparazzi that's going crazy. I mean, it's worse now. Debrat used to give me so much game. Like, that was like my big sister. But
shout out to Debrat.
Yeah, I love her.
She put me on level. Hip Hop Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
People used to get mad at her because, well, I don't know now if she does it, but I know back then she would not take pictures. She would not hug you. And the reason for that was because she got attacked. One of the fans tried to attack her. But nobody knew. Like, she actually told us why, but people just thought she was being mean. I'm like, no, you know, there's always different stories. You never know. And in this industry, like, I've ran into situations where you just don't know if this person is crazy. You just don't know. And people don't understand that. Like, I know a lot of people. And even, it's funny, there was a situation where there was an invite to Tyrese's house. I had a friend, ex-friend, that got invited, and he did not want to go. And I was like, how do you not want to go to Tyrese's party? The one thing that he said was, I don't feel like I'll get in. I said, look, let me tell you something. I said, you got invited, okay? So you belong. They think you belong. If you go in with an attitude where you don't think you belong, everybody picks that up. Yeah, you go to that party and you walk in like you belong, just like everybody else. We all bleed the same. We probably get paid differently, but that's beside the point. I said, you know, you have to have better confidence in this industry. People can sense that. You have the Diddys that can sense that. You have the Tyreses that can sense that. Make a long story short, he goes in. The minute he walks in, the cameras start taking pictures of him. Somebody actually said one of his lines from one of his projects. And I looked at him, I said, see? You were worried about not getting in because you felt like you didn't belong. And everybody's looking at you like, oh my God, the girls were throwing themselves at him, all kinds of stuff. You know, you just, in this industry, it doesn't matter how many people you know. Everybody does the same thing. Just have to have confidence.
So the mind sabotages your success. It's your mind.
It really does. Yeah, I mean, it really does.
But speaking of, she brought that intro up in there, the women. how is the women? How do you deal with that? You know, it's a man's downfall in any industry. But
I feel like the women, it's.
Want no pictures?
No.
They want all the pictures. They want all that smoke, bro.
Funny story is first time in Japan, our first time doing a show there. Yeah.
They love black men.
We got to our hotel room and they already had like 4 women waiting in the hotel room.
What time is it?
You know,
I gotta set up the
to give them massages.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Was it 2 in the morning?
No. We had got there like, dude, this is like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and they already got him in the room. You know what I mean? And we kicked him out of the room. Only because Stan Jones, my DJ, he instilled in me a long time ago, man. Like, with this industry, man, a lot of people are there to take advantage of you. So if you come to party in our hotel room, we have those non-disclosure agreements that you have to sign at the door, and you got to put your phone in this bucket before you even walk into the room.
Smart.
You know,
Drake, y'all hear this, Drake?
Because, but only because, like, again, I'm nobody like that. No, I'm nobody big, but like, I want to protect myself in the long run. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because of anything, you know, I don't want anybody to be like, oh, I forced myself on them or anything like that. So we make sure we get this clear at the door. Like, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, you here, why you at somebody's hotel room at 2 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning leaving the club? Don't you supposed to be at home with your kids? You know what I'm saying? So
love you long time.
So, but the women are crazy, dude. But I love my female fans, man. Like, cause that's who goes out to buy my music. That's who comes out to support me. So anytime they support me, man, I support them. It doesn't matter who it is. I'm the type of person at my concert, I stay behind and take a picture with everybody before I leave. Only because it's only gonna make me a better person.
Now you sound like you got your head on straight. On paper, it sounds good.
I try.
So, what is your, like, what holds you together? What's your higher power understanding, or what are you trying to accomplish from me? Is really your son? Are you trying to leave a good, or are you trying to?
Me personally, man, my son powers me, but I think just being able to be accomplished, man. I come from a place where, you know, a small city where it's not, you know, a lot of opportunity there. So coming out to Los Angeles, you know what I mean, it's so many opportunities, and I fell into so many things being out here, and I feel like a lot of artists that are here, they take advantage of it. I mean, they don't take advantage of it because it's always been there. It's always been a Capitol Records right down the street for them. We used to have to drive hours to sit outside Atlantic Records, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always trying to feed into opportunities, man. And I think me just being able to be accomplished in life, I think that's what feeds on me. And I don't like to not work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm sitting at home bored, I'm like, I got to do something. Like, I got to get up and do something. And I don't know exactly why that's instilled inside of me, but I just continually have to work. But I want to make sure that I work the good way and not a bad way.
What's your sign, man?
I'm a Sagittarius.
I'm a Sag, December 1st. Hey.
We're moving on. So,
hater.
So, no, Sagittarius is a good sign, man. Shout out to Sagittarius.
It's all about the house.
My cousin's.
It's all about the house, right?
It's about a lot of stuff. But, no, man, you're making me lose my train of thought. That's what's up. So where you see yourself in the next 24 months, in 2 years?
In 2 years, dude, I really see myself really emerging as an artist in the music industry. I feel like in the next year or so, I'm going to be able to find the right people and the right team to be around me, you know, to help me and guide my vision. You know what I mean? To be where I want to be, because I don't like to just have anybody around me, you know. Right. So I am looking for people that are in the industry to actually help me and guide me also, because I'm not looking for somebody just for me to just guide them. I also want some people to be around me that's been in the music industry, that's also been able to guide other people and help them make the right decisions. Because again, I've been doing most of this stuff on my own, so I don't know everything. So getting those right people around me, you know what I'm saying, and helping me guide me to teach me some things that I don't know would also be a blessing. So I think me just being able to make it further in the music industry, because I feel like I'm at a plateau right now where like I'm here, but the next level is the major level, and I can't get over this bubble right now, and I don't know what's stopping me from getting over this bubble. Because me personally, I feel like I got good music because all I make is mainstream commercial music, you know what I'm saying, radio music, that's all I do. So I don't know what's missing, but I feel like in time, when God feel like, you know, it's the right time for me to take that next leap, I'm gonna be able to take that next leap, man.
You know, can you tell everybody how old you are? Because normally I don't like talking about age, but people always want to use age as an excuse.
I'm 30. You know, I'm 30. I'll be 31 November 25th this year. You know, I may look like I'm super young, but I am 30 years old, man, and I've been in the music industry for a while. You know,
you've accomplished a lot.
I've accomplished a lot. A lot of people be like, oh man, like, you know, why you haven't made it? It's whatever their definition of making it is. Because me personally, I feel like I'm making it. If I'm making enough money to, you know, support my son or support the people that are around me, I feel that I am accomplished, and I feel like I am making it, you know?
You made it.
Do you feel that in the next couple of years, well, I won't say next, let's just say in the next 5-10 years, do you still want to be being a recording artist, or do you want to be an entrepreneur?
More entrepreneur. I've already, like, you know, started the entrepreneurship, you know, evolving. Like I said, it's really hard for me to get in the studio, so I've really just been like writing for a lot of people right now, you know, but I'm just working on my new music. I have a new project coming out with my boy TJ. It's called Splashmore, you know, and then I'm working on a solo project also myself, you know, that's going to be coming out soon. Don't have a set date on it because I'm still recording the songs on that. So
okay. One more thing I wanted to ask you, man. So what is the craziest stuff you've seen in these Hollywood parties?
Gay people. I mean, no,
whoa,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know it's foreign.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the homosexual.
Anything he says does not reflect the evening showdown.
No, I'm just saying, like, no, you know, no disrespect for, you know, the homosexuals or, you know, gay people, but like people that you probably wouldn't have imagined to be homosexuals. You know what I mean? Are like people that you probably looked up to. You know,
so that kind of threw you for a loop. Like,
yeah,
you
like
thought they was really on some.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really think like somebody's like out here gangster in the streets, but like they at the parties getting their booties rubbed on. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
And they still haven't.
The ones are being transformers, and they have not come out and said.
Yeah.
And the public still think they're.
And the public still think like they're these hard guys and
I know
stuff like
about.
that. So I think that's like and that's one of those things when you were speaking on earlier, like, I don't want it that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I want it that bad.
You want
to do that sex magic?
No. I don't need it. I don't need it that bad. That's what I mean by that. You know, stuff like that.
See, I like the way that you've left it open, where if in the event that happens where you don't need it that bad, you're like, you know what, I got
then
a restaurant over
comes,
here.
Somebody comes through the door. Well, I heard you have a plateau. I can break it for you.
No,
like,
you ain't breaking nothing over here. You breaking no plateaus over here.
I can break that plateau, bro.
They can't see.
You gonna be a star.
Yeah.
The gangster came out real quick.
I don't know what I'm saying.
I'll take pictures, B.
Yeah. Leave me on the ground. I don't need to be on star, bro. I'm good. Sit me on the moon, bro. You just had the stars.
Fly me to the moon.
Yeah, people don't realize Hollywood is a lot of smoke and mirrors.
No, it really is.
And just like you said, with the people, oh my God, the people that they just like, oh, he's got this, he's got these clothes, he's got all these females. Like, I be trying to tell people, I'm like, why you sitting here trying to go for broke? A lot of that stuff is either free, loaned, or something. You
straight up out here, man. Like, if I ever had a Lambo, it would definitely be leased. I would never spend $300,000 on no Lambo. Right. I'd rather spend the $12,000 a year to have it and then switch it up and get something else. You know what I mean? Like,
now, people remember this, because a lot of people are like, don't make no. Look, when you have a business, you want to write off things. It's called a lease. So the company is paying for the car, not you. So it makes more sense to lease something than buy, because everybody thinking, I want to own, I want to control, I want to own. But rich, wealthy people want to control it. Broke people want to own it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need it I don't need to control it. I don't need to own it at all. You know what I mean? Like,
you get all the benefits of it.
All of it.
Driving it,
all the benefits. Be real with you. I wish somebody would come and steal my Rollie right now so I can get the check, because I got insurance on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't look at stuff like that. You need insurance on everything that you have. You know what I mean? Like, just because you have it, it could be gone tomorrow. You know,
literally.
One more thing before we leave, like, you know, shouts out to Panama City. We just had a tragedy. You know what I mean? So that shows that you're able to lose things at an instant. You know what I'm saying? From what you have. You know what I mean? So my city is hurting right now. You know, so bigs up to guys, everybody that's there, man. It's gonna be a brighter day. You know.
That's what's up, man.
Well, where can people find you?
Just Google me, man. Swagger Splash, Big Ego, got plenty cash if you're trying to get legal. Yeah. But Instagram, real_Swagger Splash. Facebook, Swagger Splash. Twitter, Mr. Swagger Splash. You can Google me, man. I'm out here.
You know what? Actually, before I go onto my social medias, you know what? Because they are having the devastation that just happened out there. People don't know where to donate or how to help. Do you know?
I want to say right now you can actually, FEMA has a website out here where you can donate. So just go to FEMA.com and you're able to donate. They are actually out here feeding them every day. People, the news make it seem worse than what it really is, but my people are in shelters. They're getting unlimited food every day. It is water on each corner out here. They're breaking people off with $25,000 checks, $35,000 checks for the damages that they do have. So the news make it seem really bad, but my people are getting taken care of.
And I wanted to ask you that because it's different for us celebrities to get on our social medias that aren't from there and tell you where to go to. And I think it's better coming from someone that's from there.
Yeah, most definitely.
So definitely keeping everybody in prayers. And you guys heard what he said. Make sure you guys check that out. You can find The Evening Showdown at The Evening Showdown on IG and YouTube. You can find me, Angelique Bates, on all the social medias. ANGELIQUE.
And me, you can go to my coloringbooklife.com to order your coloring books, and you can go to Davinci, Dundada1, Dundada1 on Instagram, and you can go to Davinci Publishing on Instagram to check out what we got going. So.